The Pabst Theater is a historic landmark in downtown Milwaukee. The Pabst Theater is also home to the annual production of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, which is performed every December downtown in the theater. Now, I would like to share with you a brief history on the theater. The theater started as a shipping yard on the river. Jacob Nunemacher bought the land and established the Nunemacher Building and Grand Opera House. With the help of Henry Koch, he helped cultivate the design for the theater, in addition to City Hall in downtown Milwaukee. Later in the year 1890, Captain Frederick Pabst bought the establishment and moved the German Stock Theater Company on 3rd Street to the Nunemacher Building. After some renovations, the new German theater opened its doors on September 17, 1890. In addition to the theater, the Cafe Pabst Theater on the east end of the building would become a popular mile mark in Milwaukee history. On January 15, 1890, the entire inside portion of the theater was destroyed in a fire. This called for some major renovations. The cost to rebuild the theater after the fire was $300,000, and it took 11 months to rebuild. The capacity that the theater would come to hold would be 1,800 people and included 14 boxes on the side of the stage. In addition to that, the statue of Apollo, located in the back of the theater near the top, is very similar to architecture that would be seen in a Paris opera house. The theater would come to be the first one to use a steel counterweight system to fly scenery and draperies without using the old slots. In addition, a marble staircase was added in the lobby, and purposely, one pillar was tipped upside down, because it was said that even though the theater was magnificent, it could not live up to the perfection of God. The theater would mostly have German performers come to it and help populate the city of Milwaukee. That was until World War I, because of anti-German settlements. Later, the German tour groups were no longer able to perform in the theater, and were replaced by new English shows, which included political rallies, religious ceremonies, and numerous concerts by the Chicago Symphony and others. In the years after World War I, the story of the Pabst Theater would become even worse. With reduced patronage to the theater, there were ideas of demolishing it, but Mayor Meyer helped step in and make the theater become more successful. Also, in those years, the theater had some of its best performers, including Liberace, Louis Armstrong, Rita Moreno, Liza Minnelli, and Billy Joel. In many years later, 2 renovations would be made to the Pabst Theater, including a connecting path from the Milwaukee Center, or currently the Milwaukee Rep in Intercontinental Milwaukee, to the Pabst Theater. In addition, the Cudahy Irish Pub became part of the Pabst Theater in 2001. The rich history of the Pabst Theater is still continued, with the Pabst Theater welcoming schools such as our very own Pius High School, and making memories for audiences and performers alike, just like myself. In addition, the Pabst Theater will be hosting performances from Jim Gaffigan and many others. We are so grateful to have the Pabst Theater in Milwaukee, because it is our grand old lady.